Hello everyone. Today we will go over the tenant manager. CentreStack is a multi-tenant capable system here, and you can have multiple tenants in the system. You can enter the tenant manager by click on a specific tenant. And you can see on the right hand side is the control panel. You can see a few quick links. On the left hand side panel, that's still the cluster manager interface. And in the tenant manager, you can click through to the user manager to see how many users are there in the system here. And before you do so, most likely you are going to connect either a local Active Directory in the local area network or a remote Active Directory where it's over the internet. So in order to do so, you need to install a server agent software on the remote file server, which is part of the remote Active Directory. And after that, you could add users from the Active Directories. And for the team folders, the team folder concept here is closely mirror that of the file server share. And for file servers, it could also come from a local area network or come from a remote location over the internet. And if it's over the internet, then you need the server agent software to connect to the remote file server. So the server agent software is capable of connecting both the Active Directory identities and the file server network shares. And on the control panel, there are a few items. There was tenant plan, and here now there's access control. So imagine now you are the cluster admin, and then you are defining what the access control you want to define for the specific tenant admin. And for the report, you can see reports specific to this tenant here. And for the tenant branding, you could change the branding. And then branding is keyed on a tenant URL. So you need to have a very specific tenant URL before you can do tenant-specific branding. And tenant can also define group policy. So if you don't define anything, the default policy will take over. But if you do define policies here for this specific tenant, after the default group policy was defined, then the tenant level policy will take over. And now the control panel. Control panel are a few of the items that's related to the tenant you can control. You can control who are the tenant admins, whether or not you want to connect to Azure AD, the Active Directory settings, device manager settings, and so on and so forth. You can look at the users, and the users is the same as the users, just a different way to enter. There's also guest users. Guest users are not regular users, but they can receive shares, folder shares, file shares. And there's also groups, roles, and team folders. And team folders are the files and folders that's shared among the tenant users. The concept of team folder closely mirror that of file server network share. So if file server network share is for the local area network, then the team folder is the network share for the wide area network. And that's what you manage in the tenant scope, the users, and the shares. Thank you.